What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? So, there's this game that I wanted to actually try out, and thanks to my good friend, Matt, the historical gamer, I got it as a nice gift. So, special thank you to Matt, historical gamer. He's on YouTube and Twitch. Go check out his awesome videos. I've been wanting to actually play this one, and another game called Startup Company, where actually I'm gonna... You are my enslavement and my freedom. You are my flesh burning like a raw summer night. You are my country. There's another game called Startup Company, which I also wanted to try out. It's kind of like a management game kind of thing, where you kind of either become like a Facebook or a Twitter or whatever, all of them. You came from a wealthy family in the city of Lachen, a middle-income family in the city of Whole Sword, and impoverish. Ooh, I guess let's do that. Anton, as the only child of a farmer, you spent your childhood among wheat fields. Life was not easy. You were too poor to afford a good education. The Rain family was caring regardless of the economically dire situation. Parents always did their best to support you. Okay, we're at 1923. During a history class, the bell started to ring unexpectedly. You heard a loud commotion outside. As everyone tried to figure out what was going on, the principal announced a historic revolution. The kingdom was no more. The Republic of Swordland. Swordland? How would you pronounce that? There's no W there. So, Swordland? Sword. I don't know. Whatever. You not fully understand. You were happy that you had the day off. There you go. I'd be happy if I was, young kid. That's what I... After graduating, you passed the university exam with high marks. You had the opportunity to choose between several studies. Let's see. I like history, so let's do this. He was a well-known diplomat from the foreign ministry and the son of the president. After observing the hall in silence, he explained why real politics is important for a successful foreign policy, argued that a strategy based on practical and material factors would be much more successful in reaching Swordland's ambitions. I don't know. He argued that a strategy based on practical and material factors. What the heck does that mean? I hate when political people kind of use those kind of words, like practical and material factors. What does that mean? Like to import more stuff? I mean, practical as in like more action, less talk. I mean, and if so, then just say that. I'll do that. Soldiers entered the campus. Ooh, in the evening ahead of the first election. Many were in shock as the uniformed men created a security cordon and started arresting the teachers. Oh, snap. A group of students started gathering in protest along with your friend Peter. Yeah, so this would, normally... I'm going to click avoid any confrontation. Reason being is, if you're going to become a partisan, right, work with the resistance, you don't do this. Because if you do this, they write down your name. Yeah, he was at this protest. He's most likely in the resistance. If you want to join the resistance, you avoid any confrontation. You heard a loud announcement that echoed through the campus. General Ludrin declared martial law in order to restore the administration. Please stand back and disperse to your rooms. You quickly made your way back toward... Oh. Now this one's interesting. I would probably go out and see what the heck's going on. It probably won't be... Interesting. Torture and imprisonment of any opening voice became a daily routine in Dire. You didn't want to stay idle and decided to join. Yeah, right. The problem is, this will put you on the government watch list, right? This will definitely put you on a government watch list. This, not so much. Always gotta, like, you know, you gotta think like long term, you know, if you're gonna join the active resistance, you know, you don't want to have like a history of like partisan and being in protest, because like, hey, I wonder who is in the resistance. Well, it's got to be this guy. You know, the council is focused on increasing the student involvement in the campus along with the partaking in the budget. Through active participation, you gain budget management and leadership skills. In one of the meetings, Petra introduced you to one of his friends, Monica, who is a volunteer for the Swordish League of Women. You were immediately attracted to... Well, that's... Come on, let's be honest. That's the number one thing that usually catches us, right? I know for me. Oh, I love black coffee. Oh. Politically charged environment led you to... let's see. Join the nationalists. But the nationalists are ones that... Let's just stay away from any political organization right now to see what the heck is going on. The radio relayed all that the communist general surrounded Lutheran's troops, demanding their surrender. They refused, and heavy fighting broke out across the country. You couldn't believe it. The army was fighting amongst itself. Interesting. So I'm assuming Lutheran was nationalist, and then this guy is a socialist. The chaos must end. We're at 1929. The charismatic colonel, Tarquin Saul, orchestrated a sudden coup. How many coups has this country gone through? This is their, what, second coup in 2 years. And in between those two coups, you have a civil war. He wrote a new constitution, restored stability. The people saw him as a savior. He formed the United Swordland Party and ran as presidential candidate in the first ever elections. Again, if you're going to join the resistance, but he looks like he stabilized the country. And the end of chaos, I guess. I guess let's do that. By a large majority. Calling you to fulfill your compulsory service. That's one thing about the United States is we have all volunteer military, which is amazing considering it's so big. I mean, it was like 4 to 5 million troops. You know, Navy, Army, Marine Corps, National Guard. A lot of people don't realize this, but the Army National Guard and Air National Guard are the only combat reserve of the U.S. military. So, like, when the Army goes to war, right, there's an Army Reserve, but they're only support elements. Army Reserves only support elements. So you got, like, logistics-based companies, maintenance-based companies, things like that. But that's why the Army relies heavily on the National Guard, because the National Guard actually has tanks. They actually have infantry. Believe it or not, I actually found out, it's just kind of shocking, that they have SF units. If you guys know what SF is, Special Forces units. They have Green Berets. Reserve Green Berets. I was just kind of surprised by that. All right, devastating civil war broke out in. I was gonna say, like, the distinguished Major Lucef ordered you to lead your squad on a border patrol mission. It was a very cold night when you began marching out of the Gumrin outpost. To confirm, the source squad crawled forward. Information found the spot to observe. A group of refugees had made it beyond the border fence. I mean, let him slip through. I'll be a nice guy. Son of a... Oh, that... I got kicked out of the military. You believe that? I mean, you know, honestly, like, I would, you know, something like that, you would probably get, if you were ordered to escort refugees back, but you let them go, you would definitely be probably court-martialed, you know, definitely NJP, but most likely court-martialed. Yeah, but, you know, honestly, like, I personally, you know, that's a decision like officers usually make, not, you know, lower rank. Definitely not an E4. You'll usually have like a platoon sergeant with you. They'll probably make the call. But, you know, you gotta live with your actions. So in a situation like that, if I was a junior officer, thing like that, I would let them go. I mean, like, if you tell them to go back to something that's going on in civil war, it's kind of like what happened in Rwanda, right? Like, nobody wanted to take the refugees, and bad stuff happened to them. What's one man's career for saving other people's life, right? You and Monica decided to share your lives together after receiving the blessing of her parents. Ceremony was held. You worked hard to secure a high-paying job at the governing... Oh, okay. It was much more difficult to start your career on a good foot because of the refugee incident, but you still managed. I'm an idealist. What can you say? You became the foreign policy assistant to one of the most experienced members of the assembly. You worked long and hard, so they laid out work, reviewing dozens of foreign policy plans. Do I really have to go all the way here? It's gonna be a long, it's gonna be a long road. Soul strengthened by removing institutions and symbols of the former kingdom from society. Things were also looking up for the country as the massive economic boom continued. People were happy been in a decade. All right, so he's on a second administration. Preparation was the most comprehensive trade agreement with Angola. Was occupying most of your personal attention time. But a significant contribution to the trade talks triggered an invitation to meet President Sol himself, who offered you a key position. You were to become the youngest member of the assembly. I mean, why not? As the youngest MP, it was difficult to connect with the influential inner circle. You needed allies, so you brought Petri as your right-hand man. The birth of your son, Frank, provided a brief moment of joy and relief. I would probably do that. His growing ego started to cause strife within the party. His fourth election win. Jeez, man. Fifth election win. Jeez. Barely secured a majority in an election against the opposition leader. Over the past year, people were growing discontent with corruption and the worsening quality of life. Meanwhile, calls for the United Suezrain Party Congress became louder as leadership struggle started to brew. What did he do last one? I forgot he did. It was Crack's beginning of the show, right? I mean, if he didn't do anything crazy, I mean, I would not honestly personally support, you know, a Roosevelt type of situation. I mean, daggone, you know. I mean, this guy has been in power for 16 years. That smells more like a dictator at that point, right? So, yeah, that's what I would do. I believe in the George Washington way. 2 terms, you're out. That's it. You gave your support to Ewald Alfonso, reformist and talented business magistrate, who is the main contender for the party leadership. Meanwhile, in a desperate effort to secure votes before Congress was meeting, party members won by, but he didn't approach you. He found out I'm not a nice guy for you anymore. The party Congress was nothing short of impressive. The banners of United Suezrain were decorating every possible spot. Thousands of influential political figures, lobbyists, benefactors gathered for this turning point. The voting for the party leadership began. Probably vote for that guy. Nice. During the Congress, Sol announced his retirement from politics. Okay. Monica named her Diana. She motivated you to during a tumultuous period in the party. General elections were approaching. United Swordland Party was, Jesus, play these guys on the new leadership of Alfonso. You joined the party effort and campaigned for him. Wait, all right, so. Man, we actually had to go from here to here. When do I become president? That's the whole point of the game, right? All right. The extensive privatization program proposed by Alfonso secured an election victory. Was followed by serious economic recession. Other parties announced their bids for the 1953, but the unfair system hampered all opposition efforts to win you. So what? This is this guy's... Okay, so... he won there. And, alright, so this is Alfonso's second one, which is fine. Oh, wow. Oh, and started to reshuffle his cabinet, mostly in a circle, abandoned him. Your diplomatic attitude made the party vote you in as the leader. Following this, you announced that you would be running for president in the general election with Petri as your running mates. People are tired of empty promises. We need fundamental change in our institutions and government. A solid, transparent democracy awaits us. Brothers and sisters, a new constitution and a new age is upon us. It was time to face the truth. All right. Oh, I think it switched over again. I made the resolution 2K, but I think it jumped up to 5K. Yeah, it did, I think. Whoa. Alright, as Antoine Rainey, you have made many promises to the people of Swordland in order to gain their votes. They must be considered very carefully. Alright, so what did I promise? Usually you promise before the election, but... you know, democracy is a very fragile thing. Just even like looking at this year and all the stuff that's going on, especially all the election stuff that just happened. You know, I can tell you I've been around for 37 years. I've never seen what's happening this year. I'm not going to make this like a political stream, but like this is the first time ever that like I'm seriously concerned about what's going on, mainly because we had the 2000 election with Bush and Gore, and you know there was like some hesitation because you had that whatever, you know, the Florida had that thing where you punched it but it didn't go through. I don't know if you guys forgot what the actual thing was, but they had like these paper ballots and you're supposed to like punch it, but that little whatever thing that punched out, some of them weren't counted because they didn't punch all the way through. It was a whole thing. Anyway, it created a headache because it was one of the first elections to you know, not be announced in November. I believe it had to go to was it the Supreme Court to decide, and they found that the remaining votes put Bush ahead of Gore. But that, I remember that, and it wasn't like as it is today. Gore said, well, like, if the numbers come up for me, then I'll be president. If they don't, then Bush is going to be president. And it was like just a matter of fact. There were some people who were like, well, we should redo the election, but it was like just calm. It was like calm stuff. They were like, well, we'll see, we'll read it, and there was like not much news to report. Like they would just be like on TV and being like, yes, so day 12 in the recount, and there looks to be that President Bush is leading with a slight majority, and then they would do that every day, and there wasn't so much strife and so much chaos and so much division that I've ever seen in this country ever. So it's really scary. I was in the news. One of the political I think my father listens to him. Rush Limbaugh was mentioning that something about like that he believes secession is going to happen, and I was just like, give me a break. I'm like, secession in this country? I'm like, that would be the whole country splitting apart. So to say something like that, and this guy just won the not won, but he was given the Freedom Award, one of the highest civilian awards. I forgot the exact name of it, but I have members of my family that I would say actually a good half of my family is probably on one side and the other half is probably on the other side. I won't mention where I fall in because I don't go into that political stuff. I stay away from that stuff. The only conversations I get into are like phone conversations, like which phone is better, iPhone, Android, Anyway, let's get back into this game. Suezrain economy has been based on a planned doctrine since its formation until the former president enacted free market reforms. Now the country finds itself in between two different economic systems. A completely free market or a planned economy. So I'm going to do that. Free market is great idea. When you have business people that care about the country. 2008 really showed me like money will top concern for your country, right? Like how many firms did we see that said, this might cause a problem for the country down the road, but I'm going to make a crap ton of money right now, so let's do that. And then when that day hit, and everybody started losing money and then paychecks, and I'll never forget, I saw like men like cry, and it was just like I've seen thousands of people just being laid off, and it was a sight. It was very shocking, and I was grateful I had a job that stayed. Got a reduction in pay, but still had a job. That time was very scary. And the people that were kept on high, they really didn't get affected so much, like people that were billionaires or hundreds of millions of dollars that had they really weren't affected that much. They got the money, they got out. They didn't give a shit about the people below them as long as they came out with the money. That's why I'm not really comfortable with people on Wall Street. Like, I'm from Brooklyn. I hung out with those kind of people, right? They're scumbags and they do a lot of drugs, and it's scary that these people literally will do coke, drink crazy amounts, and then have to be work the next day. Like, I was literally at the bar, like down the street from from Wall Street, I mean, the whole place was filled with, you know, Wall Street brokers and all that, and they were all drunk or on coke. And I'm like, these guys are running the economy? Shit. That's like having an army where everybody is drugged up, right? And, you know, like, would you trust that army to go to war? I mean, come on, seriously. The intensifying global rivalry between capitalists, Arcasia in the West, and communist United Cortana in the East, so Cortana and Arcasia, is opening new diplomatic possibilities. Suezrain could take steps to align closer. I'm gonna go with neither. In recent years, British, Welsh, Agnolian immigrants flocked to Suezrain due to relaxed immigration laws enacted by Alfonso. As a result, tensions between swords and immigrants have been increasing. We have also promised to focus on a certain extensive subject within our first term. The people expect us to resolve negative situations within this topic while providing overall improvement to the related policies. In the average, I think we should focus on health. All right, that's me, a good-looking guy. Good-looking guy. Of course, I'm a good-looking guy. All right. So I'm assuming this is the capital. Let's see the map. Zooming in, zooming out. So this is the farthest I can zoom out. What is this, the United States or something? No, it's not. Oh, this is all fictional, huh? Yeah, these are all fictional countries. All right. Economy developments, budgets. Codex? What the heck is a codex? Oh, okay. Journal. I get to keep my journal. All right, and then so these are country overview. Okay. Okay, cool. With the written statements. The president may veto a bill. Okay. Ministers chosen from the assembly. President appoints the ministers to the council of ministers elected. Okay. Why is this? It's not fluid. According to Article 50, political party needs a minimum of 10% of the total national vote to win seats in the Great National Assembly. The votes of the parties who pass the threshold are regionally proportional. President may issue decrees on issues that would carry the force of law. However, they could not contradict the Constitution or are subject to judicial review. Cool. The Assembly may pass legislation on the same subjects to override presidential decrees. Can be elected to serve an unlimited term. See, that's where I'm gonna deal with that in a second. Wait, the justices of the Supreme Court are not responsible for the actions performed in the exercise of their duties. What does that mean? Performed in the exercise of their duties. I hope they're talking about like what they vote on, not like, hey, I just hit somebody with my car, but I'm a Supreme Court justice, so. Its appointment, what is this? Defines member of honor title. Its appointment procedure as well as Medal of Honor has absolute immunity and is a permanent member of the Grand National. He is entitled to the security team. Oh, wow. Cool. Interesting. Okay, cool. Alfonso Amix. All Okay, well, we're gonna work on that. Okay, so it's an armed law enforcement organization to assist mayors. Okay. See, I don't believe in compulsory military service. Is there something I can do? Ooh. See, that we need to fix. That I'm not cool with. I definitely need to fix that. Geez, there's a lot of things that are right now playing a key thing in the current news sphere, where voluntary vaccinations versus forced vaccinations. There's a lot of stuff in here. Okay, well, all right. So what does this do? And this is my, I'm assuming. Let's check a look at the political overview. I got my friend Petri, I don't know, whatever. I'm bad with these names. So this is my boy here. I think I'm better looking than him. He can go with that bald look right here, right? You know, still shave. I like keeping that mustache. I like keeping it real. This guy got me my back before, so he's a good guy. Got Minister of the Interior. Oh man, there's a lot to read. Oh man, this guy seems like a bad guy. I don't know, he just seems like a bad guy. Just by looking at him, it's like, who serves prior to his position as minister, he held the position of Inspector General. Okay. He was a captain during the Civil War and served in the command of Colonel Saul. Before his presidency, he gained nationwide fame for his heroism. Is still well respected. Okay. Okay, well, he's a nice guy. All right, I'm just gonna. There's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, old guard. So these are guys from the Saul guy. Will administrator defend the status quo and promote conservative politics? Some claim that they established a deep state that controls the state apparatus. Jesus, there's a lot of stuff that is going on in today's world in this news that is like I feel like being put in this game. Orso is the leader of the Supreme Court and has established links with many in the administration. And then you got the oligarchs who control the majority of the wealth in Suezrain. I keep before I read that, I always think Scotland, but their influence both in and out of Suezrain have been growing due to privatization efforts in the past. And then reformists. All right, 250 seats. I'm gonna have to reduce the. Oh, I can't have access to the options here. Because this is definitely under 5K, because look how small that text is. And I don't want to lose a lot of frames. I put it under 1080p or 2K, and I don't understand why you upgraded back up to 5K. So, USP, that's Alright, so it's going to act as government. The modern Democratic Party's faithful founding. Party side is the founding party. Its logo consists of 3 arrows shining with a light bulb. Okay. Huh. Alright, so this party's basically been in charge. There's another one. The People is a political party, promoted liberalism and social democracy in a country. And there's these guys, the National Front, ultra conservative, and they're the second biggest, right? So, assuming it's these guys, then that guy, and then independents of these. Alright, and then you got the judiciary, and there's 11. They're old guards mostly. They got 4 or 5 compared to reformists and centrists. 3, 6. So if the centrists and reformists get together, this is a nice, I would say this is okay balance, right? Because the old guards are full on, you know, ultra conservative, they want to stay with status quo. Centrists like lean back and forward, and reformists are like, hey, things could be better. So if things need to change, they can get the centrists on board to override the conservative, or if things are going too fast, the conservatives can align this. Well, they don't even really need to align; they just need like 1 or 2 of these guys. And sort of since 1937. Legal theory. Later on, he started working as a public prosecutor. Okay. He was implicated in the military coup of 1927, but investigators were dropped during his term as president. He joined USP and became a member. All right, interesting. Notes. Okay, interesting. I don't want to take notes. I wish they had an option here that I can adjust the frame rate. Like, I don't want to go all the way to main menu to adjust it and then come back here. It's going to take forever. All right, and then what is this stuff? I'm assuming these are other countries. And so who do I border? Jeez, I border a lot of countries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 countries I border. It's craziness. All right. Okay, I guess, how do I... Chapter 1. 2 weeks have passed since the election. Okay. The die was cast. In the instance, the Maroon Palace stood on the famous Hill Pride. Oh, that's a nice graphic. I mean, does it really... My fellow swords. So weird. Brothers and sisters. I mean... I thought for a second that the crowd were angry at me. I'm like, really? What did you want me to say? If I say this, I'm going to piss off the conservatives. This is something that the majority of every president has said since becoming in office. Suffice for one. But I'm not going to get into politics. But like Bush, Obama, Reagan, everybody has said the idea of unity. Whether they, Republican or Democrat, they came in, they were all like, hey, we're all Americans. So I think that. For many generations, this country and its long history has kept us tied to the idea of unity. Well, that's going to be a freaking... But I'll do it. Raise fist. One of the presidential guards came by to notify it was time to leave. Jet black Cadillac with flags of Suezrain above the front headlights. Hello, Mr. President. Still under the effect of the speech I made, hearing my new title made me smile. If you allow me to introduce myself, I am Surge. Oh, I like that. Surge! Your new driver. Nice to meet you, Surge. It is an honor. We'll be heading toward the palace. As minutes I found myself lost in thought again, barely paying attention to what he was saying. Suddenly made a gesture towards the now closer palace, the Maroon Palace. So do I search this? A Morgna West Core. What? Have a great day, Mr. President. A Mognora West Core. Okay. A Magnor West Core, which meant morning will come, victory is close. Okay. I don't know what this means, but I'm assuming it's the complimentary response to that. Okay. All right, so we're past the thing. What? Okay. So, Rain spoke of unity. So this is the Horsland. Oh, jeez. The Hole's sword. Post. Be funny though if it was called a horror post. Thousands have attended the ceremony where President Rain has met with supporters. First time. I met so many people I sometimes forget which my name is. In his inauguration, spoke of unity, bring focus. This country and its long history has tied us an idea. What about you guys? I only got 37% of the general vote. Oh, the radical times. We've seen this before. Colonel Saul, who supposedly saved this country and brought forth in times of chaos. His stability, however, meant a life of oppression. Next was Alfonso, who was elected as the liberal reformer, bring change to the USP and Swordland. Seeing his unfortunate inability, his own cabinet resigned. It is high time to realize the real change won't come from their party. Economists. Our investment indicates the infrastructure investments can be fruitful in the short term. And solo economics, whatever. Okay, whatever. Give me a brief on the current economic conditions. Gus and Leah's Graf were about to arrive at the White Room for our scheduled economic meeting. This was the room in the Maroon Palace where all important meetings were held. Used to buy way at the door. From the hallway, I heard Les Graf's voice. She was using a patient, almost motherly tone she often took in heated arguments. Alright, I forgot which all these people are. Minister of the Interior, Minister of Economy. It's just so many people. Like, I don't know any of these people. I'll barely understand who I am. Do you really think that such economically advanced areas in need of investment in Agneland? I don't even know where the heck that is. Whoa. Oh, man. Okay, so all those... Okay, interesting. So I realized all those, these are not countries, these are all my regions. I thought these were different countries. These are like states. But neither had his reputation for getting things done. It's a lot of reading in this. Oh, okay, so that's where is it? Simon Hall. All right, so he's the one that's, I guess, a little bit more calmer. Good morning, Mr. President. I kind of understand what the discussion. We've already begun restructuring local governments and introducing new safety measures. Off to a good start. Ooh, this guy got a temper, huh? The assistants left the cabinet room. I was reminded that Simon had never quite had a way with people, but that his facility with numbers had made him the most sought-after economic specialist in Swordland. All right. It got stalled due to a government property boundary issue. I have been meaning to look at it. I could take a look at that one. Escrow needs all the security help it can get. Sure, most of the time for me, more time for me to spend on analysis. Oh man, wow, that's a lot of reading. That was one of the things I took from the Steam thing, screenshots and stuff. Is like I think there were like 9 screenshots. The video was really cool, but then when I was going through the screenshots, what kind of hesitated me from actually clicking buy now was like all the screenshots were of this. I was like, wow, there's a lot of like text in this game. And I asked the historical gamer, I was like, there's a lot of reading. He said, yeah. And I was like, good thing I didn't play last night. I came back from work and I was tired. I would have been able to get through the first sentence. All right. There have been some developments about the Suezrain losing further value today. The recession of 51 put enormous pressure on the economy, resulting in the collapse of the value of the currency. The entire situation is significant cause for our administration. Okay. Oh, jeez. Is now a staggering 16%. Inflation is at a high of 7%. Jeez, man. Jeez. As you can see, the situation is alarming, but not everything is negative. The extensive privatization program of Afonso left us a large budget surplus, which we can use to stabilize the crisis. The primary subject we need to settle on is what general path we will take in our term. Solomon Annex-based nationalism happened in the 1930s. Afonso privatization began during the end of the 1940s. What will our administration focus on? Was to promote a planned economy to stop the recession. To be frank, I still don't think this was a good idea. It is a reason of the recession. Self-sufficiency will help us in tough times. Let's see what the downsides are. So there's another important point which has a direct impact on superpowers. We have done well not aligning ourselves with any of them. Economically speaking, an isolationist policy overall could only work if we were to reap the benefits of both spheres in a rivalry. This is a very dangerous to attempt, but still possible. We must be very cautious. There are schemes being devised about Suezrain. We cannot give them into their wants now or in the future, otherwise the country will turn into a pawn. Wow, a lot of talking, man. We need to open other possibilities. Arcadia is a strong country, and if we end up in their sphere, Suezrain will increase their influence in the world. The deals we would get surely bring us out of recession. When the time comes, I hope you will make the right decision for our own good. Oh, man. Minister Wissy. Which one was Wissy? Okay, we must first decide our turn off. Alright, back to this thing. Yeah, I mean, I guess looking at it from both perspectives. So if you have a completely free market, obviously the economy will boom, because corporations can invest without government oversight for this or that. But at the same time, is corporations can get the country in to a major recession, if not overlooked. So I don't think there's a clear definition of one way or the other. One thing I learned in life, aligning yourself with one decision or the other, right? Like, it has to be this way or the other way, is the wrong way to see things. The middle ground is where you should focus on, the middle of the road. And yeah, that's what I've been noticing, I guess, through all my studies, history stuff, focusing on the middle ground. So with capitalist free market reforms, but it doesn't look like there's a middle ground here. Picking a construction. Remember that the free market economy in all forms is the future of the world. It would make United Cortown to look at our country in a more positive light. The influence of Arcasia's extensive our economy strategy should be based on internal reasoning, though. Let's just move on. Oh man, there got to be a middle of the road here, right? Critical institutions must remain in state control. We must be fully responsible in delivering services. I mean, that would be very difficult to do, right? Especially with weak infrastructure, right? So I'm not going to choose that. We should look at opportunities like privatization, create financial resources. And then there's a market economy doesn't require as much guidance, could has helped attract foreign. A market economy doesn't require as much guidance. Yeah, let's do that. I promise this. Let's do that. Oh. I'm the president. If I fail, you guys can go the other way. Here we go. If I chose the other way, you would have seen freaking things in the newspaper like, look, you promised this, doing that. What area? The city Uzin? I don't know where that is. Oh, it's all down here. Jeez. Jeez. Okay. All right. So what are we doing here? So WASD keys work. Yes, the WASD keys work. Nice. I love it. I love it. I want more of it. Huh? So this is a different country. This is Angola. This is, I don't know, whatever country that is. And then this is not ours either. What is this? Lespia. All right, jeez, there's a lot of these. And a national road. Do I have a national road? Something in red. Oh, okay, there is a highway going this way. There's no highway going into Agnaland, whatever. Jeez. How I don't even know what I can do about that, dude. We definitely need to focus on these people because they're definitely need to help them out, man. They're in bad shape. And what is this? It's just more of an overview. So what am like? Is the point of the game to go over here and just read these things? Whoa, wait, check this out. Made a press statement highlighting the increasing chance of military confrontation in Eastern Europa to strengthen the military. What the? Eastern Meropka, whatever. Eastern Meropka. Where the heck is Eastern Meropka? Hold on, let me... Oh, crap, I lost that thing. Eastern Meropka. Meropka. Man, this is hard. Oh, there, look at that. I got a pen. Eastern Meropka. Where the heck is this daggone thing? He says there's a military confrontation that's gonna happen in Eastern Meropka. I don't see Meropka. This is Val's land, Agnolia. Whatever. All right. Ministry of Economy has put forward 2 bold plans for mega infrastructure projects that would help the economic recession and long-term investment in projects of this scale would take up a portion of our budget could prove worthwhile. That's it. Yeah, but I can't do anything here. Kind of limited to what you can do, right? It looks like. What if I click another country? That's it. I don't know. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more, I don't know. For more, I guess, options, like select, you know, I'm not saying full on, I don't know if you guys remember the game Democracy. It's on the iPad as well as Steam. I'm not looking for something that heavy, but something a little like that. Because I feel like I do get overviews, but I can't, like, take action with anything. Get like a decision here, decision there. Maybe I don't know. vice president. We did it, Anton. We won. Finally, all those years with our nose to the grindstone have paid off. Oh man, this is gonna be like another long one. Is that like a scotch? No, whiskey. Nice. You know, always in the beginning of like administration, everyone's like, we're gonna do so many great things and da 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 da, and then you know, like 4 years later, it's like, man, we did shit. I mean, this is not the case, but you know, like early administrations always have these kind of things, and things are harder to move when it comes down to it. You know, like every administration comes in and is like, hey, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do something huge, and you know, and they try, but it's kind of like having like a boulder, right? So I'm gonna move this boulder that way, and you push on it and push on it, and you'll get it inking that way, but you're not gonna get it all the way. You know, it's a bad analogy, but whatever. Some people are losing trust in democracy. Alright, so here's an option here. Leader of the Reformists believes that the true change can only be done by transferring some of our powers to Assembly. I'll move into the details of the demand shortly, okay? Oh man, alright. I gotta figure. There's a lot of people in this. Especially if they unite on the transpartisan majority in the Assembly. I don't even think that's gonna happen. The reformist demands are clear. They want to limit the president's veto powers, ensure that the Supreme Court is independent, and take away their right to... I'm hoping that was fireworks. I'm really hoping that was fireworks outside. I really hope. I keep hearing that stuff. Oh, man. You know, normally when I hear gunshots outside, I'm like, who cares? And also my last place I was living in, which was Norfolk, and people say it was a bad area, but I had brick walls, so I really didn't care. But now that I have a family, my awareness is going up. I'm very concerned about that. Very, very concerned. You know, I know what stray bullets can do. That gone. I didn't have to worry about this a lot of times in Brooklyn. I mean, if you did hear gunshots, the odds of it going through, most buildings had, a lot of the buildings in Brooklyn were brick, right? So, like, best it'll go through is the window, right? So you just have to change out the glass. And that's if you hear it. I mean, there's so much stuff going on in New York, you know, like you have the buses, you have car honking, people screaming, all that stuff, so you really don't hear bullets as much as you think. And take away their right to vote on the Constitution. Okay, which means removing your absolute veto as well. Reformists demand loopholes in the Constitution be fixed. After we have settled our thoughts on how to proceed, we will need to talk about political figures. Our first goal must be get 150 signatures needed to start the process. Following the green light from the USP, we'll reach out to the other party leaders to see if they would back our draft. The entire process will take a long time before we start working with the Reform Committee to evaluate all possibilities for a new... The key thing here will be strengthening the power of the Assembly, which will already lead with majority. See, the thing about it is, what does every first-term presidency want? A second term. The way I'm taking it from this game is I'm here to serve the people, right? So whether I get only a one-term or two-term, you know, that's the things on the people. I figure the way I'm going to start this game is like I'm going to do what the reformists want because that's what I promised. People want change in the government for better representation and less centralized power with the executive, and I completely agree with that. I mean, that's the whole reason for the United States, right? We didn't want a king, right? We wanted to have the presidency to be strong but not absolute, right? And the founding fathers went out of their way to ensure that the branch of government that has the most power was the legislative branch, right? And the actual parts of Congress that actually is supposed to be the voice of the people is the House. That's why they're elected every 2 years. It was designed to be the voice of the people. And the Senate, from what I remember in my studies, was designed to kind of So the House was designed to make change. The Senate was there to slow the process down. So, you know, I'm trying to find a good analogy, but it's basically like the House says, all right, this is happening. Let us enact this bill. It's going to solve all the problems. In a sense, like, hold on, before you do this, let's look at it. We might have been through this before, and kind of work together and slow down the bill, so you can be like, all right, well, instead of you doing this, let's add this. This will make sure that this works. You know, kind of things like that. And then eventually it gets to the executive branch to sign it off. According to the initial draft we made with the foreign minister, 2 changes to the Constitution are not open for their discussion. Okay. Second, the president's absolute veto will be taken away. This can be replaced with a limited veto system by fixing the current loopholes. We'll form a reform committee together with all parties. Okay. The Lloydberg Group, who used to be an economic advisor at King of Swordland. Oh, currently the spokesman of the organization is Walter Tusk. Walter Tusk? It reminds me of that guy who was on... what is the one with Casey? Oh man, House of Cards. Grandson of Noel Tusk, officially, but the spokesman is considered to be the de facto leader of the entity. The group convenes every 3 months at the Hotel Berg. Meetings are secret, but suggests topics like economy. Blah, blah, blah. Most of its members are unknown, except for the speaker, Walter Tusk, who has okay, whatever. A future of Macopia. The oligarchs convene on this group to influence economic policies. According to the report, some members of the National Business Council are in the pockets. They would surely try to bribe us for their special economic interests. Lucien looked at Peter. As far as I know, someone has some ties to this guy we made. Oh, great. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So I guess like these are notes that I'm supposed to be taking. I wish I didn't have to actually take notes. You know, like, I don't know. To me, like, actually taking notes in the game feels like homework. I don't know. Like, seriously. It's weird taking notes in a game, really is. See, I wish I can do stuff about it, like enact stuff. So I got my Minister of Economy, I got Rural Management, I got Graph. I like her. Oh man. I think this is gonna be the last conversation I'm gonna have. I'm already like tired of reading all this. All right, where's... Can I go... I don't know where these things are. Hold on. Okay. Avery. Okay, so... Okay, I definitely want to do that. That's what I wanted to do, actually. Return on investment will be low. Our concern should be economic growth. I feel like if you invest, like his return on investment, yeah, right now it will be slow and low for the investment of building a highway there, like this red line here, pull one into there. Yes, it will be slow and low return. But down the road, it'll be better because there'll be a highway there, which means businesses will say, hey, listen, it's actually not that hard to get over there anymore. We can build businesses there. I'm assuming tax rates will be low there. What really matters, though, is that we can accomplish something tangible in first economic act. The H3 highway and the L3's railway can only support one project with the current capacity and budget. Let's move on to the details. So this would help with get us out of the economy thing, but this will help those in that region. Let's do that. Yep. It is. Bless their soul. Isn't that like a southern term right there? Bless their soul. Bless his soul kind of thing. That was the funniest thing when I moved down into the south from Brooklyn. Somebody was like, oh, bless his soul. And I'm like, I remember originally when I heard that, I was like, I think I was just like, oh, that was a really nice thing for her to say. And I realized like that can be used like, oh, bless his soul. And then they could be like, oh, bless his soul, kind of thing. Like it can mean something completely opposite what you think it means. Okay. 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 We should make Agnos respected as swords like all of us. So hold on. We should no longer neglect a key region for our trade with Angola. So it keeps it says money's been taken out, but no, I guess it's coming out of this, but like it just says 2. What does 2 mean? Does that mean $2 billion? I don't understand. Like, I don't know. All right, we're building a highway. All right. I know people are gonna be like, dude, the highway's falling apart. It is. The rail network is falling apart, but building a road from here to Avery, I think, is more critical. And these people, like, there's only these little crap roads. I mean, they only have a national road going here, right? That's it. But if we build a main highway road, that's going to increase for people here. And the rail is deteriorating, but there are other options. There are roads, there are ports. So figure it out. But I want to make sure these people, which are the most poor, can get some, even if, like, let's say, I don't know, this guy in Verhall, whatever, is making, I don't know, $5 an hour, right? And he only works 20 hours a week, right? If he can go to $7 an hour, 30 hours a week, that's going to improve his quality of life quite a bit. And, he got an increase because there's new businesses there, right? And yes, maybe some other counties, whatever regions, are going to take, a hit. But to improve the poorest, the richest and higher middle income areas here could take a little bit of a hit, which is fine. We got to pull the poor people closer to the middle, Geopolitical. Oh, what the frack? Oh, crap. These guys are gonna be freaking nut jobs. Oh, that freaking sucks. Oh, crap. It's weird though, like, I have active policy, H3 highway. There's nothing I can do about it. Like, it's just telling me what's there. Yeah, I'm good right there. I'm just gonna save it right here, guys. So just giving my first impressions. I like the game. It's okay. I do feel like there's a lot of reading. So, like, this is a game that kind of focuses power away from you actually. It's not a democracy level game where you're going to say, I'm going to make the adjustment of 15% to police training development kind of thing, and then I'll take that from Social Security kind of thing, right? It's definitely not about that. This game is about looks like relationships with your ministers and the stuff that goes beyond. This is more, I feel like, what would actually happen in, well, the White House, where you're taking meeting after meeting, and those meetings are what kind of steers the country, right? Because, you know, the president doesn't sit at his desk and say, all right, I want you to take 10% off the Social Security. We're going to take that 10%, break it down to 2% each, and that 2% we'll put it into the military, another 2% into economic development in, you know, Boston. Doesn't do that. It's usually these kind of meetings. So you have a meeting on media strategy, meeting on development, and then those guys who are in your cabinet, right? My cabinet guys, these guys are the ones that actually do the work. So I just basically have meetings with them and make decisions, which in essence, that's what the president is. All he does is make decisions. Meeting, decision. Meeting, decision. That's it. It doesn't actually really go down to the grindstones, you know. So I do like that it offers that kind of realism and kind of like puts things in perspective. So you are the president. You're telling people to, you're trusting and telling people, look into this, come back to me and let me know. And then I'll make a decision. So I feel it's more on par with what it would actually be to be a president. But also, I wish there was like other ways that, I don't know, like I feel like this country overview kind of stuff, I feel like being able to like, I don't know, I feel like the game needs a little bit more though. You know, like there are other, like if I want to decide to do, I don't know, just for shits and giggles here, like to do a vaccination, right? I want to hit vaccination. I want to make it, you know, I'm going to say mandatory, right? I don't read anything into this. I'm just using it as, you know, in fact, I'll use something else as an example because I know that's a hot button topic. Let's say I want to switch this to volunteer military service, to be like the United States, right? I can't make that an issue. Like I would like that, and I would love to like select this and create that as an issue. Maybe put that in like a law, right, when they're drafting it. But you can't do that. You can't change this. You can't even push that out in the conversations that you're having, which I feel like limits what you can do. So I have a meeting there. I can go here and read a report, but yeah, I mean, it's, what the heck? All right, I think I'm gonna end it here. I think we're going an hour. A little over an hour, but yeah, I mean that's what I feel like, honestly. I do feel like there needs to be a little bit more options, a little bit more capability. I feel like I don't have control over the government what I like, or at least start stuff. Like I would love to go to him and say, all right, I want, you know, clicking on him, maybe bring up some options saying, I want you to investigate, you know, looking at a voluntary military, you know, but it just gives me this, and you can't go any further than that. You can't have him start a meeting or anything. I mean, that might happen maybe in chapter 2, but as far as now, I don't see that. So like right now, I can't actually have a sit down with my military guy. Let's do this and see where this takes us in chapter 2. Maybe that'll pop up. Huh. a productive collaboration. Swordland Today. Isn't that one of the newspapers? Oh, crap. Yeah. He did not wish to explain the details over the phone. I bet he wouldn't. Yeah, I don't want to go down that road where... No, I don't want to go down that road where, like, I'm appeasing him so his newspaper says good things. I think the media should be separate. The more people we have on our side. Oh, my new secretary. Oh, she's cute. Is the current chief strategist to the president. Oh, great. Connect the line to my office, fine. Marcel. I was just selecting to be COS. My strategy in the running of this Klingon will be different than my father's approach. This is why I'm offering a partnership deal regarding our media branch. I would like to formally invite you to my resort near Conrad for a meeting to discuss. Why do you... I'm not gonna go to his daggone resort, right? Some freaking media person will take a picture of me and this guy, and that's gonna scream whatever not conspiracy, but whatever the freaking scandal already. Future as partners, Mr. President. Surely we can't talk about the detail. Why not? Yeah. See, but gentlemen, check this out. What's going to happen here is that I'm going to go there, right? Somebody's going to take a picture of me and that guy, right? And then come tomorrow when I pick up the newspaper, is trying to secure press. And then we're going to go into that is that. I just said it a few seconds ago. We're going to go into scandal mode. And I'm going to be sitting, I'm like, man, why didn't I just say no? So even though things look bad now, it could be far worse in a day. All right. Okay, sign or veto the electoral campaign finance bill that was approved by the... Alright, tell me what this is. The criteria for the allocation of public funds shall no longer be according to the number of votes won in the general election shall be the proportional of seats won by a political party in the assembly. Shit. Oh, crap. I don't like this. You guys didn't want to have a meeting about this thing that I need to sign? Like, hey, you know? I wish there was like, hey, can I click a meeting now? Because, I don't know. So, the criteria for the allocation of public funds shall no longer be according to the number of votes won. The new criteria shall be the proportion of seats won by a political party in the assembly. Hold on, I'm trying to... Maybe it's because it's like 0100 or 02 in the morning. I can't see the clock. But I gotta read this again. The criteria for the allocation of public funds shall no longer be according to the number of votes won in the general election by a political party. The new criteria shall be the proportion of seats won. Shall receive an annual amount of. This results in doubling of the USP election budget and a slight increase in other parties in the assembly. Okay, I see what's happening. This is going to be interesting. I think I'm going to sign it. I expect to see bad news. Maybe I should have, I don't know. I didn't want to hit it. I mean, there were pros and cons to both sides of that bill. But if I hit veto, obviously my party would be pissed with me, right? Because they get more money out of it. I want to appease them now. It's just why when I need a favor, I forgot what it's called. A president gets political capital. That's it. So by doing that, I actually get political capital. So by me continuing to not pander, but kind of giving my party and the majority what they want, when I want something, they're going to. Otherwise, then I won't work in their manner again. What the? A personal investment opportunity has been relayed by Mr. Manager. Which one is this guy? An experienced stockbroker is selling valuable shares up and coming. We could invest I don't think that's for a personal investment opportunity. Yeah, I'm not. That screams scandal. Oh gosh, what did I do? Oh. There's just too many of these things. How do you do, Mr. President? Now that's the charm that got you elected. Dang right. Jeez. Oh, jeez. Come on. Jeez, man, check this out. It's a party thrown for me. Don't you want to support your father? Oh, jeez. I wonder if Serge is going to become like a vital guy, you know? Like, somebody's probably going to try to do an assassination, and Serge will be like, I got you, buddy! Do you plan on working together with the opposition party on expected constitutional reforms? They will support you, Mr. Richter. They will support you on the issues. What do you think about that statement? This is a challenge for us all. We want other parties to join him in this endeavor. Honestly, I don't expect much from him. We want the other parties to join him in this endeavor. One more question. One of the first acts as president was to sign a campaign finance law advocating public... Oh, is this a deliberate attempt to defund the Communist Party and the Brothers Workers' Party, neither of which have reached the election threshold? Guards! As it was, if left unchanged, will only... Uncle Peter. Dang right, you're in my mind too. We're at least had this roller coaster ride over with, but of course now the real work begins. Yes, managed to help plan parties, other trips. Up to a point, yes. So absolutely, we'll work together to achieve that. Diana. Oh. What the frick? There's a loud banging noise echo from outside the ballroom. He asked himself, fireworks? No, gunshots! As soon as Monica heard the words, she lunged from her seat. Which one's Frank? Oh, Chief of Police. Promptly followed Carl through the winding halls, corridors. Dude, you notice how the music kind of changes a little bit? Quiet, please. Who the oh man, I have a bad feeling about this. Did the chief of police just tell the vice president to quiet, please? Oh. We have confirmed that 2 people are gunned down in front of the palace. The gunman is one of them, and we are sure that he was working alone. The attacker fired 3 shots at an MP, 1 to the head, 2 to the body, instantly killing him. Jeez. Presidential guards at the palace immediately shot and killed the attacker. The gunman had not been identified yet and will require an investigation. Oh, wait. Jeez, that's crazy. That's definitely not going to play well in the papers. Oh, my military guy's there. I like this guy. Alright. He was an elected independent member as a famous communist. With this taste. Guards at the scene were 50 meters away and immediately took action. As the member of the nationalist organization Young Swords. Jeez. Oh, jeez, here we go. Which one's Nia? Oh. Can't have anyone, let alone a peace shop, for voicing this different opinions. Jeez, man. We should reach out to the NFP. Request to calm the situation with the Young Swords. The two groups have ties, Mr. Diener. Reason after all, which cannot be said, Young Swords at the time. All due respect, ma'am, but we shouldn't be quick to jump on conclusion by having a full investigation concluded. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to increase the security budget. The reason I'm doing increasing military budget is because those nut jobs to the north, the actual countries, might invade us. And now this attack with these radical groups, it's better to have more soldiers and police. Oh, geez, that was one turn. That whole thing. MP shot. Nation in shock. This is the very cycle the president must break with reforms. All right, let's go to turn 2. Oh, man. Now, one pro for this game that I will say, besides the other ones that I mentioned, is it's available on not only Windows, but Mac and Linux. So that's a huge pro in my book. All right, dinner with the family at home. This reminds me a lot of that French game that I played, which was the French Revolution one that I played, which I'm trying to remember what the name of that one was. It's in my Steam catalog. It's about like the French Revolution. It's like here you can have dinner with the family, and that also affects your family. You're also I think, a judge in that game, and everything you do with your family as well as the cases affect, where you go. I feel like the same thing with this. Wish I could have there's a bug though. To get out of that, you can't. So I do this, I can click outside of that. Or this one, I can click outside. But if I click this guy, I guess it does now. Wasn't doing it a second ago. Jeez, man. Jeez. The arrested women have admitted their intention to attack the National Front Party. Gave his speech but rejected any connections to BFF. Jeez. There's a lot of craziness going on, man. Oh, that's great. Yeah, we definitely need to increase the military budget. But again, you can't really do much. If I go to him, yeah, I can't do anything. I mean, the only thing you really can do is just do these things. But I'm going to hold off on continuing. I'll probably continue this hopefully Saturday or Sunday. Might be able to. I got 2 interviews for Developer Dialogue on Sunday evening and Monday morning. I actually got 2 developers coming. We have Wargame Design Studio, which produces John Tiller games. They're going to be Monday morning at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the other developer, I am something called Goat Studios. They make the Supreme Ruler series. I forgetting the developer's name. Something with Goat in there. But they make the Supreme Ruler series, like Supreme Ruler Cold War. So I'm very interested in both of them. But I really like the Supreme Ruler games too. So I've played a number of them. They're really good. All right, so I'm going to save this. So a game like this, I bet you went back to 5K. No, it didn't. That's weird, because that is definitely in 5K. So I guess Steam is pushing it as 5K. Let me uncheck that. And before I end this stream, daggone, it's 0300. And this stream has been going on for 2 hours. So the other game that I was mentioning is called We the Revolution. So yeah, We the Revolution is the game that kind of reminds me of this. So if you liked We the Revolution, you're gonna like this, because I feel there's a lot of things in We the Revolution which are very similar to this. But overall, I do like it. It's very interesting. I'm definitely gonna play it again. I just feel like there are certain things, like I would love to be able to initiate legislation, or steer my administration in a certain path, without having to deal with just meetings. Like I have the meetings and we talk about, like, hey, this is important, that's important. The person comes up, is like, what should we do, this or that? And I say, well, we'll do that, right? But I want to be able to tell, like, hey, General, I need you to we're going to start moving military forces north to this place. What do you think? And he says, that's a good idea, Mr. President. Kind of like being able to initiate discussion, initiate policy. I feel all I am doing is reacting to it. So, yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that bothers me. I'm just reacting to things. I'm not initiating things. So I feel like that is where the game is. I feel like there needs to be a way to initiate policy. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. It was interesting, and the next game I'm going to be playing is probably Panzer Corps 2, the new DLC, which I'm hoping probably maybe Saturday, hoping. And then I want to also do Startup Company, which is like on sale. It's like $7, so it's $7-8. So I definitely want to get that. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Catch you in the next one.